Track 1. This conversation between Emma and Ben focuses on their reading habits, favorite book genres, and preferences for physical books versus ebooks. It's useful for practicing conversations about reading, books, and libraries.
Hi, Ben. Do you like reading books?
Hey, Emma. Yes, I love reading. I try to read a few books every month. What about you?
I enjoy reading too. I usually read in the evenings to relax. What kind of books do you like?
I'm really into science fiction and thrillers. How about you?
I prefer historical fiction and biographies. I like learning about different time periods and real-life stories.
That's interesting. Do you have a favorite book?
Yes, I love Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. What's your favorite book?
1984 by George Orwell is one of my favorites. It's a classic, and the themes are still relevant today.
That's a great choice. Do you prefer physical books or ebooks?
I actually like both. Physical books feel nice, but ebooks are more convenient when traveling. What about you?
Same here. I like the feeling of holding a book, but I usually read ebooks because they're easier to carry.
Do you visit the library often?
I do. I love browsing the shelves and discovering new authors. Do you go to the library?
Not as often, but I should. It's a great way to find books without spending money.
Exactly. I think libraries are a fantastic resource for readers.
Agreed. We should exchange book recommendations sometime.
Definitely. I'll let you know what I'm reading next.
Track 2. This conversation between Sophie and Mark explores their reading habits, favorite authors, and book preferences. It's ideal for practicing discussions about books and reading routines.
Hi, Mark. Are you reading any good books lately?
Hey, Sophie, yes, I just finished a great mystery novel. What about you?
I'm reading a fantasy series right now. It's really exciting. Do you usually read fiction?
Mostly, but I also like reading nonfiction, especially books on history and science. What kind of books do you prefer?
I'm more into fiction, but I also enjoy memoirs. I love reading about people's real-life experiences.
That's cool. Do you have a favorite author?
Yes, I really enjoy J.K. Rowling's books. What about you?
I'm a big fan of Agatha Christie. Her mysteries are always so clever.
Oh, I love her too. Have you read Murder on the Orient Express?
Yes, it's one of my favorites. Do you read every day?
I try to. I usually read before bed. It helps me relax. What about you?
Same here. I always read at night, even if it's just for 15 minutes.
Do you buy your books or borrow them?
I mostly buy them, but I use the library sometimes. What do you do?
I borrow from the library often. It's a great way to save money and discover new authors.
That's true. I should go to the library more often.
Track 3. This conversation between Lily and Tom covers their favorite book genres, reading habits, and whether they prefer physical books or ebooks. It's useful for practicing book-related vocabulary and discussing reading preferences.
Hey, Tom, do you enjoy reading?
Hi, Lily. Yes, I love reading. I usually try to read a couple of books each month. How about you?
Same here. I'm always reading something. What's your favorite genre?
I'm a big fan of fantasy and science fiction. I love how creative those stories can be. What about you?
I prefer reading crime thrillers and mysteries. I love trying to figure out the ending before the book reveals it.
That's fun. Do you have a favorite book or series?
I'd say Sherlock Holmes is my favorite. I've read all the stories multiple times. What about you?
I really enjoyed the Lord of the Rings series. The world building and characters are amazing.
That's a classic. Do you usually buy your books or borrow them?
I like buying them. I love having a personal collection. You?
I borrow most of mine from the library. It's a great way to discover new books without spending too much.
That's smart. Do you prefer physical books or e-books?
I prefer physical books. There's something about holding a real book that I love. What about you?
Same here. I enjoy the feel of a real book, though I read e-books sometimes for convenience.
Agreed, nothing beats the feeling of turning real pages, though.
Definitely. Let's exchange book recommendations sometime.
Sounds great. I'll let you know what I'm reading next.
Track 4. This conversation between Anna and James touches on their reading habits, favorite authors, and whether they prefer physical books or audiobooks. It's helpful for practicing conversations about reading preferences and book-related topics.
Hey, James. Are you reading anything interesting right now?
Hi, Anna. Yes, I just started a new historical novel. What about you?
I'm reading a self-help book. It's really motivating. Do you read nonfiction often?
Sometimes, but I mostly enjoy fiction. I like getting lost in a good story. What about you?
I like both, but I've been reading more nonfiction lately, especially books on personal development.
That's great. Do you have a favorite author?
Not really, but I love anything by Malcolm Gladwell. He writes so well. How about you?
I'd say George Orwell. His books make you think about society in a deeper way.
Absolutely. 1984 is a classic. Do you prefer reading in the morning or at night?
I usually read at night. It helps me relax before bed. What about you?
Same here. It's a nice way to unwind after a long day.
Do you ever listen to audiobooks?
Sometimes, when I'm commuting. It's a good way to read when I don't have time to sit with a book.
I do that too. It's perfect for long drives.
Exactly. We should swap book recommendations sometime.
Definitely. I'm always looking for something new to read.
Track 5. This conversation between Emily and David focuses on their reading habits, favorite books, and preferences for physical books versus ebooks. It's ideal for practicing discussing book choices and reading routines.
Hi, David. Are you reading anything good lately?
Hey, Emily. Yes, I'm reading a crime thriller. It's full of twists and turns. How about you?
I just finished a romance novel. I usually go for lighter reads after a long day.
That's nice. Do you prefer novels or shorter stories?
Definitely novels. I love getting absorbed in long stories. How about you?
I'm the same. Short stories are great, but novels give you more time to connect with the characters.
Exactly. Do you ever reread your favorite books?
Sometimes, especially if I really enjoyed them. I've read the Da Vinci Code a few times. What about you?
I reread To Kill a Mockingbird every couple of years. It's my all-time favorite.
That's a classic. Do you have any specific reading routine?
I usually read for about an hour before bed. It helps me wind down. You?
Same. I also like reading in coffee shops when I have time during the day.
That sounds nice. I should try that sometime. Do you prefer physical books or ebooks?
I'm more into physical books. I like having a real book in my hands. What about you?
Me too. There's something special about turning the pages.
Agreed. We should swap recommendations. I'm always looking for new books to read.
Absolutely. Let's do that soon.